Good evening, Wendy. How are you?
What's
Well,
going on?
well, this is our first evening without our third host. So we miss you, Miss Yvonne Barker, but we know you'll be back to visit us. So Wendy, have a good week?
I did. Yes, it was
Good, good, good,
good.
good.
How about you?
I did. I had a good week. It was a busy week at work, but it was good. So
Ooh,
listen, everybody out there, you know what we're going to ask you. Please subscribe, leave us a
like,
comment,
share.
click that like button down there. If you like the content that you are listening to, please click that like button. We see you, we know you're viewing it. So just take a second and click that like button. And if you like what you're hearing, subscribe to the channel. It's a no-brainer. Hey, Wendy, so listen, we've talked about situationships before, but now we're learning about all these other dating, all this other dating lingo that
Mhm.
the lingo has just been added to the situations, not the situationship, but just to the situations as it relates to a relationship. Now we have titles for these things. So the New York Times took the lingo that we're going to tell you guys about today, and they kind of compared it to dating to help you see when you're on a job interview that if this is happening, then you might want to just do something different. Because if you were dating and this were happening, you would probably do something different. So I know that sounds kind of precarious, but you know what? Give us a few minutes and we'll get into it. So you want to go ahead and start, Wendy, so they'll understand exactly what we're
Yeah,
talking about. And ladies, just so you know, this is important for you. So don't let it's all about not letting people, well, men too, anyone dating. It's about not letting people waste your time as well.
that's what it's about. I mean, that is the summary of all of this. And they shouldn't waste your time in dating or on a job interview. so,
Exactly.
so the first one is benching, but we're gonna let you talk about that one, Chris. And
Okay, okay.
or no, I don't remember. Oh, you want me to go
Yes.
with the ones that I chose?
No, the ones that you chose, yes.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so I chose ghosting. Ghosting, and so what ghosting is when you're dating someone, and after a date or a hookup, then the one person doesn't respond back or follow up with the other person. So that happens in dating all the time.
Especially online dating.
Especially online dating, but even back in the day before it was online.
That's true.
It didn't have a name, but that's what it was, ghosting. Okay, so I think most of us have experienced that, or we've ghosted somebody.
I know I've
If
experienced
we're
it and I
honest.
ghosted somebody.
Okay, okay. So when you're job hunting, in comparison, it's when you don't hear back from the person that you interviewed with, which happens all the time. Sadly, you don't get the call or the text. Well, occasionally you'll get an email that'll say, we went with another candidate that was more
Right.
qualified
Yeah.
or something.
Sometimes they don't tell you, they just ghost you.
A lot of times they don't tell you. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So ghosting is okay. So that's ghosting. And then the other one was situationship. Okay. Well, it's similar to friends with benefits. Similar. But you in a dating relationship usually lasts 3 months or more, it says. And one partner is not exclusive to the other partner. And one partner wants the exclusivity, okay, in these situationships. So I think there's a whole lot, that's what this particular article said, but I think there's a whole lot of different situationships. Chris, would you not agree to that?
Yeah, because in a situationship, there's no one wants the person that is in the situationship that knows it's a situationship does not want any accountability for anything. They take no accountability for anything.
But I do think that there are situationships where both of you are like mutually.
Agree. You don't say it, but you through your actions, you recognize that that's what it is.
That's what it is, and yet everybody is okay with it.
Exactly, exactly.
So yeah, I have experience with situationships for sure. Too much.
You said too much,
Much. I was in one that I had hoped would evolve into, and develop into a relationship for sure.
Right.
So then, now you're vulnerable and you're
You're in your feelings.
you're in your feelings at that point. So that's a little frustrating. But I think that's a pretty common one. Now, when it comes to job hunting, situationship is when a job is offered to you without health insurance, or it may be a contract that's less than a year long. I've had a number of multiple temp assignments, and they were
Right. You know what? That's a better analogy. It's a situationship is a temp assignment because it's a temporary relationship.
no contract.
Exactly.
You don't have a year. You just go
You
along,
don't
see
know
how
when
it
it's going to end. It just ends out
Right. So I've,
of the
I've been
blue.
on that end for sure. Multiple temp assignments, less than a year, no contract. Absolutely. No health insurance either.
Exactly. Nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
Wow. And you know what? I know you guys out there, you've experienced some of these and didn't really know what it was, but now you can look at if you're going on job interviews and you know that they're not serious, walk away.
Yeah.
Unless you have time to spend and you just want to be there, like in a situationship, you just want to be there, right?
No, who got that? Now I had a friend that interviewed I think three times with a company, Chris. And so
Uh-huh.
that's benching. I'm jumping ahead, but that's benching.
Well, that's okay. That's okay.
So I was like, no offer, but they kept interviewing her.
Right, right.
It's like that's an unusual punishment, really.
Holding on to her. So benching from the dating perspective, it
Mhm.
says keeping someone on a roster in case your first choice doesn't work out. And we do that, men do that and women do that as well.
Yeah.
Often this comes in the form of a late night text from a hookup, meaning you hooked up with them. But sometimes a serial monogamist also keep a hookup on the bench, just in case they break up with the current significant other. So, they'll call you intermittently, have a conversation with you, have no intentions right now anyway of doing anything other than that. But probably say nice things to you to keep you interested. So that's the same thing, very similar to job hunting,
Mhm.
rejecting a candidate, but trying to keep the person interested in case your first choice declines. Benching,
Mhm.
dating, and job hunting, very similar.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
and guys, this was all in the New York Times. So if you want to go out there and check it out, but I tell you, I say once again, a lot of these things are so entwined in online dating. Don't you think so, Wendy? I
Oh
mean,
yes.
a lot of these things are so entwined, and I guess not just in online dating. And with younger people too, I can see some of these things being more prevalent with young people as well, especially the benching one. Because younger people, they're talking to two and three people sometimes. Well, no, that's not true. Older people too, because I can't just say it's younger people.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what's happening if we go back to online, okay? It's like you might be talking to multiple men at the same time and they're talking to multiple women at the same time.
Right.
Keep them all straight in order, right?
Exactly,
Of their
exactly.
favorite and their next favorite, and yeah.
Go down the list, right? Start checking
Yeah.
off. So I love this one. Love bombing, receiving compliments, gifts, and other gestures of affection without a promise of exclusivity. I've been there. I have been there.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so that one I definitely know. I didn't
Oh,
know
that
that
was
was
supposed to
being
be
loved.
mine, Grace. I forgot. That was supposed to be
Oh, love bombing was. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I
well,
forgot.
have you ever been love bombed?
Oh, I've been love bomb. Yeah. definitely.
And
Um,
the thing about it is you're so happy you're getting these gifts and the person is saying all these nice things about you and you don't even realize that they haven't made any commitments to you. You know what I'm saying? So all the things that they're saying to you, they're probably saying to 2 and 3 other women. And especially if they're having money, they're buying them gifts as well. And you are none the wiser because you're so caught up and enamored by all the attention that you're getting from them. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So,
Good morning, good
oh,
night,
good morning text, a good afternoon text, a good night text.
excessive compliments, and all of this. All of it's nice at first. At first, it's very nice, and then at some point, it becomes like, mm,
Exactly. What's going on here, right?
right,
So,
right,
so love bombing from the job hunting point of view in the recruitment and offer stage,
yeah.
receiving flattery and promises of promotion rather than a reasonable starting salary. And I have been there. Oh my God, you do such a good job. Oh, this was great. All of that.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
can you pay me for
Mhm.
it?
Have you ever had an interview where this happened to me not too long ago? I had an interview, and I told the HR person my salary range. I told them the salary range,
Uh-huh.
but so I came. They called me in for in-person interview. I had the online interview, then they called me in for the in-person interview. Well, oh, it wasn't really an interview. They were just telling me how great I was, and kind of like you could do this job in your sleep type of
Right,
thing. You know what I
right.
mean? We would just be happy to have you kind of thing. So
On
I'm
our
like,
team, right?
okay, this is interesting. Then when I'm shown around the facility and I get the whole tour and everything, and then we go back to HR. I call them cheerleaders.
Oh, you call HR cheerleaders?
Yeah. So we go back to HR, and the starting salary, she makes the offer, and the starting salary is not what I had it wasn't in the range.
Oh, of what you had said, right?
Yeah, so how does that happen that you took up my day with this interview and you can't even meet me in the like range that I gave you? So that was a waste of time.
Exactly.
So they love bombed me.
They love bombed you.
That's what they did.
They held on to you, flattered you, and didn't offer you what you were worth,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. I mean, it wasn't a whole lot different, but I mean, it was my minimum. You understand? So they the
Exactly.
minimum.
And they
Yeah,
went below that.
yeah,
And that's the same thing with love bombing from a dating perspective.
yeah,
All those things are nice, but it's just the minimum, especially when you're looking for something more.
yes.
Those things are just the minimum.
It's flattery. It's to just get you
To get your
enamored,
mind to
kind
get
of,
your mind off of the financial part.
Well, that's what happened to me.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they never got to it. I recognized it before, but remember me telling you the story? I tell you the story about the guy who was in the military and all of this.
Yes.
So yeah, he would send like virtual bouquets.
Love it. Virtual bouquets. Okay.
Yeah. Good morning, good night, good afternoon. You're beautiful, you're lovely, this and that and the other.
Right, right.
Yeah, that's a love bomb.
So the last one is breadcrumbing. So breadcrumbing from the dating perspective is after hooking up, one partner is texting intermittently, but resisting any kind of concrete plan to meet up again. And I've experienced that. And I get to the point of saying, well, some people want to talk on the phone, for a period of time before they meet you to determine whether or not they even want to meet up with you. But
Hmm.
but I'm like, after a while, you just intuitively know when, okay, the talking should be over now. I mean, just the communicating on the phone should be over now. We should be sitting across the table or doing something where we're looking at each other, communicating. Um, so let's see how that is from the job hunting perspective.
That it got kind of odd for me right there, Chris. But
But the
you said
breadcrumbing, why is that?
with the job, honey. I get the break.
Oh, okay.
You explain how you interpret it.
Oh, okay. An employer asking for increasing amounts of work during a multi-stage interview process without any financial compensation. So the texting intermittently and being asked to continually provide some type of work to show that you have the skill set to do the job. So I see how I see the similarity as someone is constantly reaching out to you, someone is constantly asking you to do this particular or provide this particular report or whatever, but there's no financial compensation. So you basically done a lot of work for this company without even having a job or even them compensating you for what you've done. You have received texts from this person consistently, but they've never said they want to see you again. So you get no money for all your work. You
Yeah,
get
but who does that?
you get well so a lot of companies, it depends on the level of the job, they'll ask you to do, oh, especially if it's a
Like a
multi,
project or do
yeah, a
like a
small project,
presentation.
do
Okay.
the, do a PowerPoint presentation on this,
I
they'll,
see.
especially if it's, I would say, above a mid-level position,
Mhm.
there's multi-stages to it. Oh yeah, they'll
Okay.
ask you to provide some information, provide something, because they're asking everybody for that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But you're
Okay.
literally doing all this work, and it's not like, okay, what am I going to get in the end of this? Nothing. Especially if you don't get a job, now you provided them all this work that they can use.
That they can use. Yeah.
Exactly,
Hmm.
exactly, exactly. So,
Interesting.
so ladies and gentlemen, you have situationship, you've got love bombing, you've got breadcrumbing, you've got ghosting, and you've got benching. And all of those things, if you look at them, they correlate to job hunting. But of course, we're talking about relationships. So from a relationship perspective, Wendy, what do you want to tell our viewers out there?
Well, that there is a silver lining.
Yes.
There is still a silver lining. And hopefully we get some examples of those. And we have some couples that we can share with you starting in some upcoming episodes.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. But
Hopefully we
hey, let us know if you've ever experienced any of these, because sometimes, like I was saying, some of these things happen to me and I didn't know what the lingo was for what was happening to me.
yeah.
Now that I'm sitting here and I'm looking at these different attributes for relationships, I'm like, yeah, yeah. Because remember the guy that I told you I talked to for 5 hours?
Yeah. The
5 hours.
TW, the time waster.
Yeah, exactly. That was
Uh-huh.
TW, time
Yeah.
waster.
Yeah.
You know, that's the breadcrumbing right there.
Okay, so I've had the breadcrumbing, but it says after a date or hookup. See, that's the part. So I didn't
Well,
even get
I
to
did.
the
I had a date. I had a date.
yeah, but we didn't get to the
Oh, okay. You never got to that part.
we just yeah, it was just little breadcrumbs,
Throwing you little breadcrumbs, a text
Yeah,
here, a text there.
yeah.
Yeah. So
No,
watch out for those.
okay, texting, all of that, but no date.
But no
Yeah.
date.
Mhm.
Exactly. So watch out for those good morning texts with the smiles and good afternoon texts with the smiles and the good evening texts with the smiles and the good night texts with the don't
Wrong with that.
no,
There's
it's
nothing
not.
wrong with that, but make sure it's not breadcrumbing.
Exactly. Make
Yeah,
sure that for 5 days in a row, that's all you're getting. No talk of, meeting up or, meet and greet or
yes,
anything like that. So,
yes.
wow, that's cool, Wendy. It's amazing. I don't plan on looking for a job anytime soon. So I guess I'll be looking at those from the dating
They're
perspective.
so disrespectful now, Chris.
Well, you know why? And it's from a job perspective and from a relationship perspective, because you can do this stuff, everything online, dating online, so they don't have to see you searching for a job online. Prospective employees don't have to see you either.
Right.
They can be however they want to be.
Yeah.
Like behind the curtain, like the Wizard of Oz,
Yes.
behind the
Yes.
curtain.
Yeah.
you know?
And back in the day, when I was working a lot of contract temp jobs and things like that, recruiters were always so nice, but they were genuinely nice. Okay. Like we're gonna find something for you. It's all about your relationship with them, which
Right.
they really have a relationship with this company. But at least they made it you feel like it was about you.
It was about you, exactly. They were there
Not
for you.
anymore. Not anymore.
No, they just move on to the next person
Oh, they
because there's
throw
so
you
many
away
people
like
out
a
there.
tissue, like a used tissue.
Yeah, the job hunting is just as difficult as dating. Finding the right job and finding or meeting the right person, it's just as difficult.
Yes,
Wouldn't
yes.
it be amazing if you went on a job interview and you met somebody in the same day, got the job, and ended up with a fantastic relationship?
Oh,
Wow.
wow, that would be amazing. That would be a
Amazing. It
win-win.
doesn't it doesn't happen like that, but we can always dream and hope.
It would in a sitcom, in my romantic sitcom that I would write, it would.
Uh, okay, I like
The
that.
person that interviews you is your
Right.
romantic interest.
Oh,
Fall in
but
love.
then you'd have a conflict. They couldn't hire you.
A lot of companies don't have that kind of rules anymore. They don't have
You know
those.
what? That's no, because we don't have it. So you're right, because we definitely don't have it at my company. Not at all. Not at all. Well, listen, everybody, it's been fun. It's been interesting. The topics that we discussed tonight. So you know what? As always, Wendy, what do we want people to do?
Like, share, and subscribe. Please, come on, guys.
And leave us a comment. And once again,
Leave
let
a
us know
comment.
what you want to talk about. We can come up with content and topics all day long, but it might not necessarily be what everyone wants to hear. So let us know what you want to talk about. Men and women, we're open to all kinds of feedback. So
Yes.
once again, we
And
will.
if you have a friend out there or, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, and they're being ghosted, benching, all of these things that we're talking about, share this video with them. Let them know
Yes, please
you think
share
it's
this with
happening
them.
to them.
Because sometimes people need to see stuff in black and white, especially when their friends are telling them things. It's like, you just don't want me to be happy. And then
Right.
they look at it and they're like, oh yeah, he does that. Oh yeah, he does that. So you're absolutely
Objectivity.
right.
Mhm.
Wendy, share this with your friends, male or female. And you
Yes.
know what? We will see you next week. Have a fantastic week. Any parting words from you, Wendy?
Enjoy your MLK Day. Get out
Oh,
and
that's right. Tomorrow is
something of
MLK
the
Day.
yeah.
So I am not doing anyway, Wendy, what are you doing? You're doing something tomorrow for
I'm volunteering tomorrow. I do not know. I just know the charity is oh, don't ask me to plug it. It's something to do with seniors and children. And so I'm going to be working with them tomorrow out in Union City. Look, I
Okay, so you're
assisting
going
me.
to you're going to be doing something in the spirit of Dr. King. I think that is awesome. And you know what? Hopefully a lot of other people will be doing something in terms of service because that's what it is. It's a day of service.
It's a day
Remembrance.
on, not a day off.
Yes, in remembrance of Dr. Martin Luther King
Yes.
Jr. So
Yes.
happy MLK Day, everyone. Stay warm because it's supposed to be cold if you're in cold parts of the country. So stay warm if you're outside uh, doing service to your fellow man or
Right.
woman.
Right.
We will see you next week. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.